Welcome to this episode of The LinkedIn Marketer. My name is Karen Hollenbach, and today I would like to explore why you might be hesitating to show up on LinkedIn. Now, if you're a long-term listener of this podcast, I may or may not be describing you in this episode. And really what I'm doing is sharing this concept with you as a gentle nudge, maybe for other people in your life who you would like to encourage to embrace LinkedIn more, because you know it represents a place where if they shine a light on their unique experience, background, skills, that they will create more opportunities for themselves. So if you're new to this podcast, welcome. If you're a long-term listener, please share this episode with others. And I shouldn't make the assumption, if you're a long-term listener, that you have shown up on LinkedIn and you are shining brighter. Maybe you will also get something from this episode. So for many Australian professionals who I meet, and I know that it's not just Australians who listen to this podcast, so I think this concept probably applies to more than just Australians, showing up on LinkedIn can feel uncomfortable. And I think there's a few reasons for that, and that's what I want to explore today. So cultural modesty, fear of judgment, uncertainty about what to post. It's a big one. And they're all legitimate reasons that may be holding you back from spending any time on LinkedIn or showing up on LinkedIn. And these barriers aren't about capability, which is good news, right? They can often be about confidence and really not being sure about how to navigate LinkedIn. And often when I run LinkedIn training sessions, I'll talk about this idea of LinkedInitis. So I feel like I need to be on LinkedIn, but I'm not sure what to do when I'm there. And the good news is that it's easily treatable. And this old chestnut of, I feel like I have to post on LinkedIn. Well, guess what? Many people don't realize that you don't need to post daily on LinkedIn. And in some cases, you don't need to post at all. So it's a should that I think puts a lot of pressure on people. So please allow me to explain. Small, thoughtful actions, reposting insights from others, commenting on posts, or engaging with your network can build visibility, credibility, and influence over time. Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither will your professional reputation be. So what I recommend you do with LinkedIn is start where you feel comfortable, because I believe consistency matters more than perfection. This is one of the first principles of content marketing, which is really the foundation of how I encourage people to show up on LinkedIn if they're choosing to be more active. And so I think it's something that a lot of people have forgotten, this idea of being consistent versus being prolific. And I think that's because it's so easy to create content with generative AI and Canva visual templates. And so because those who have got comfortable with LinkedIn are showing up at sort of the next level, that's putting the rest of us off in terms of increasing, I guess, some people's discomfort with even stepping onto LinkedIn in a way that feels meaningful for them. So just because we can use these tools like the scripts from generative AI or the Canva templates that we can populate, there's so many tools people can use now to create content. Doesn't mean we always should. So let's go back to first principles. Why might you be hesitating about showing up on LinkedIn? And so this is one where I'm sort of trying to get inside your head a little bit, trying to get you to think about it, and really trying to let you know that I see you. It's really common that these things exist. You're not alone. And then we can explore some ways for you to maybe feel more comfortable if it's right for you and your goals. So before we imagine a world where you can move from quietly capable to visibly confident on LinkedIn, let's look at some reasons why you might be feeling reluctant. So the first one I mentioned is this cultural modesty and humility. So many professionals feel that self-promotion is boastful. So they hesitate to highlight accomplishments or share expertise publicly. It's this old idea of, well, I want my work to speak for itself. And I wish we lived in a world where that's true, but we don't. And so sometimes we have to shine a light on We won't have to, but we might create opportunities for ourselves if we were to step out into the light. And I guess when we are thinking about stepping out into the light, there's also this fear of scrutiny or judgment. And LinkedIn is visible to your colleagues, your clients, your managers, and some people worry about posting the wrong thing, being misunderstood, or appearing a bit salesy. So while it's good to be cautious, this can also be an excuse for not taking any action on LinkedIn. So the next one is one I've sort of referenced a little bit earlier, talking about those that feel really certain about posting can put you off. So there's this uncertainty about what to post, and this is the reason why you may be feeling reluctant about spending time on LinkedIn. Yes, it's true, posting regularly is the right move for subject matter experts and thought leaders, but it's not for everyone. Not posting shouldn't be the reason you're not tending to your LinkedIn garden. That's what I like to call your LinkedIn profile and your LinkedIn presence. Spending time there, tending to your conversations, your connections, and the way your profile looks. Or perhaps you want to post content, but you're not sure where to start, or you're unclear about how to strike a balance between personal insight and professional credibility. We've all seen that vulnerable personal post and think, oh, I can't show a version of myself like that on LinkedIn. And you don't have to. But what's happening is when you're seeing other people post things like that, perhaps this is leading to hesitation or inaction. The other thing that could be holding you back is a simple reality of time constraints. There are only so many hours in a day, and busy schedules may make it hard to invest even small, consistent amounts of time and precious headspace on your LinkedIn efforts. I get it. LinkedIn can feel like one more thing to manage, and ultimately you've got to decide if it's the best use of your time. The other thing that could be holding you back is this perception of LinkedIn as transactional. Some see LinkedIn as a networking or job hunting tool only, rather than a platform to build influence, share knowledge, and engage meaningfully. It can be so much more than that transactional aspect that we unfortunately do see on LinkedIn. So if you're someone who can appreciate the long game, then you'll be able to appreciate the benefits of spending more time on LinkedIn when you know what to do when you're there. And I guess for those who didn't grow up with a mobile phone and a device, there can be a general lack of confidence in their digital presence. So even highly capable professionals may feel unsure about their writing, video skills, or ability to craft a compelling profile. And there's good news, you don't have to show up on video on LinkedIn. Many of my clients are bilingual, multilingual, dyslexic, or living with a disability, or are filled with humility and find the idea of talking about themselves an absolutely repellent, ghastly proposition. And so they look to me for how to approach LinkedIn in a way that feels authentic and genuine. So if you can relate to these people, I'm so glad you found me. And then there's the past negative experiences. Yes, there's some salesy behavior on LinkedIn, but it's easy to sidestep when you know how. If you've been put off by irrelevant content, spammers, they're everywhere. LinkedIn is, they're occasionally there too, or low value transactional interactions on LinkedIn. Again, I'm so glad you found me. And the final barrier, and I'm really not trying to put you off, I'm really trying to validate your concerns and to show you how to move through that discomfort so you can embrace LinkedIn as a tool to help you with your professional goals. I do see in some sectors, there's organizational norms or policies, and this is in some traditional or conservative workplaces. Being active on LinkedIn can be frowned upon. And if this is something you've experienced, it can definitely be a disincentive to spend time on LinkedIn. Some workplaces discourage or limit employees' social media activity and making it harder to feel comfortable sharing publicly. So I imagine you've probably recognized yourself in some of these scenarios. So are you still with me? Are you still tuned in, or have you moved on to your next podcast episode? I hope not, because if you're still listening and keen to know how to elevate your LinkedIn presence, I'd like to revisit or share with you for the first time, if you're a new listener to the podcast, the framework I use with clients, so both individuals and organizations. And it's a helpful roadmap that you can work through at a pace that feels manageable for you. And it's called the Elevate Map. And it really is a tool or a framework that helps you show up on LinkedIn. So the Elevate Map is designed with 4 different areas. So it's really discovering, refining, connecting, and amplifying on LinkedIn. So let's take a quick look at each of the elements in the Elevate Map and some suggestions for you to think about as you work through this framework yourself in your own time. So LinkedIn is more than a social media platform. So when we're in this discover phase, it's about thinking about LinkedIn's value as a professional space where connections, credibility, and influence come together. So I'd like you to take a moment to ask yourself, are the people you want to reach, clients, colleagues, recruiters, or peers, active on LinkedIn? If yes, then it's a place you probably need to start to get more comfortable with. The next thing to consider is, will your LinkedIn presence help you stay visible to those who may refer, recommend, or collaborate with you? Again, if your answer is yes, then this is a place you probably need to spend a little bit more time. And then the final thing to consider within the discover step is, can LinkedIn give you insights, ideas, or trends that matter to your work? So again, if the answer is yes, great. It could simply be a great research platform for you. There's no rules about being active on LinkedIn. If you're there for research, that's good news, right? Might be a way to help you get more comfortable with LinkedIn. So if the answer is yes, as I've mentioned, it's worth your time. LinkedIn's definitely worth your time. And remember, consistency matters far more than perfection. So even 15 minutes a week, and I like to call that your thoughtful 15, can create a meaningful impact and help you stay top of mind. So when you schedule that thoughtful 15 minutes with yourself each week, it's not to post, but to be an active member of your professional community by connecting, reading, engaging with other people's thoughts, perspectives, and insights. And so here's a hot tip. Your LinkedIn user experience will be much more relevant and, dare I even say, enjoyable if you curate your LinkedIn home feed. So I will put in the show notes this framework that I'm taking you through, as well as an article I've written on how to actually curate or clean up your LinkedIn newsfeed, because it's game-changing for your LinkedIn user experience. So it's then worth thinking, you've made this, if you've answered yes, okay, Karen, maybe LinkedIn's a place I need to be, show me how to get more comfortable. Well, it really is being a little bit prouder of your LinkedIn presence. So how do you do that? And that's the refine step. So your LinkedIn profile is your professional story. It's a place to share your expertise, experiences, and the value you bring. So for individuals, that's you. It's about building trust with potential employers, clients, or board directors, depending on what your particular focus is for LinkedIn. So for organizations, it's a way to showcase credibility, services, and culture, and reduce risk in the decision makers' buying process. They decide if your organization and your leaders and your client-facing team are for them. So in this refine step, as part of the Elevate Map, what I'm really getting you to do is think of this as your chance to be discovered on your own terms. Most people will research you online before they meet you. So your opportunity is to let your LinkedIn profile or your organization's LinkedIn page reflect what's relevant, what you want them to see. So shine a light on the most impactful parts of your story. Then we've got the connect step. So we've done this discover. Do I want to be here? Is it relevant for me? Refine. Who do I want my profile to sort of be relevant for? What parts of my story are relevant to them? And then we're looking at this connect. So networking on LinkedIn is about relationships, not transactions. And so you can engage in 2 different ways. You can engage with posts, you can make comments, and you can react and contribute to conversations in your industry. So there's no posting required in that step. The second one is private engagement, so personalized connection requests, messages, and thoughtful check-ins. So depending on the type of account you have, LinkedIn can limit your ability to send invitations to connect, but you can also follow people within your network. So really, when we talk about connection, it's not that transactional-based connection. It's more relational. It's leading with generosity, celebrating others' success, sharing ideas, and engaging with curiosity. When you focus on connections first, opportunities will naturally follow. And then the final step, if you're really thinking, okay, I can maybe do this. These insights are making me feel slightly more comfortable with the idea of showing up on LinkedIn. So this final step is amplify, and it's not for everyone. It's not something you have to move into. You can stay with just up to the third step, which is connecting. With amplify, it's really once your presence and network are established, you can amplify your impact by sharing your insights and expertise, or not. This is about your comfort. You may just want to check your LinkedIn profile accurately represents you. Set a 6-monthly calendar reminder to add any new projects or roles to your LinkedIn profile. Browse your LinkedIn home feed once a week or so and cheer your colleagues from the sidelines. If you just want to do that, that's fine, absolutely fine. But if you do wish to amplify your LinkedIn presence beyond a profile that reflects the professional you, there are a number of different ways you can do this. So there's short form posts, visuals and updates, articles and newsletters, videos, if that's your thing, documents or carousels, which is a series of more than one piece of information or picture. And there's also live and audio events. So that's really next level stuff and not a requirement for most people. But if you're moving into that thought leadership, subject matter expert, it's something you might like to consider. So thoughtful, consistent contributions build credibility, strengthen your professional brand, and influence decisions long before you're in the room. And small, regular actions turn visibility into lasting influence. So wherever you are on your LinkedIn journey, I hope today's episode has been an opportunity for you to consider why you might be hesitating about showing up on LinkedIn, and with the Elevate Map framework, thinking about some small and intentional steps that you could be taking over the next little while to elevate your presence on LinkedIn. And of course, when you're on LinkedIn, do reach out and send me an invitation to connect if we're not already connected. My name is Karen Hollenbach. You've been listening to The LinkedIn Marketer. Thanks for your attention.